Hi, I'm Laura Steffen, and I'm here at the 2018 Employee Engagement Awards and Conference.
Hi, it's Michelle Garraway of the Region of Durham Social Services Innovation and Research Unit here at the 2018 Employee Engagement Awards in Chicago, Illinois.
And we're here with our Innovation and Research Unit for the second year.
So our unit runs iLabs, Innovation Labs, and we've partnered with Dr. Ashley Whillans of Harvard University and Maritz Solutions to do an experiment to understand the impact that our labs and time specifically for innovation have on our staff, on people's wellness, and innovation in the workplace.
Over the past year, we've been conducting a research project in collaboration with them at our Region of Durham Social Services Department. And we came here this year to share a little bit about the collaboration and what it's been like for all of us.
So please welcome to the stage Jeff Kreisler, Editor of People Science, Ashley Whillans, PhD, Assistant Professor of Business Administration at Harvard Business School, Charlotte Blank, Chief Behavioural Officer at Maritz, and Darren Levine, Manager, Innovation Research Unit, Commissioner's Office, Regional Municipality of Durham, Ontario, Canada.
Yes, I'm thrilled to be on stage with our partners here in particular because Maritz, as a people and performance company, we're all about the science and art of people and potential. So my role there to lead the behavioral science practice is really to oversee the foundational elements of behavioral science that go into really understanding what drives performance, motivation of employees and partners. So part of our mission is to launch what we call a movement of applied behavioral science in the modern marketplace. And to do that, we partnered with Ashley, who is a key partner on the academic side, and we spoke together to sort of represent the coming together of academia and practitioner to really start to bridge that gap and do more field research in the space. So last year, our intent was to welcome all of you to join us in that movement and basically put out a call for more field research and partnership. And it worked because we got this call from Darren, so we were inspired by that coming off the stage and talking. We showed a multi-dimensional framework of employee engagement and different elements that go into that. And one, of course, is innovation. And how do you structure and create a culture of innovation? And what might the role for field research and experimentation be in that? So that inspired some follow-up conversations and the experiment that we're going to talk about today.
Can you give us, before we move on, a brief description of what is that experiment?
Yes, it's so interesting. It's such a great combination of Ashley's research and the interests of the Durham team related to innovation. It's really about how do you structure and encourage people to participate and go above and beyond their day job to invest their time in innovative activities or practices that'll bring forward innovative efforts in the company. So the experiment is around a program of iLabs, innovation labs, that the Durham team had already started to plan to create for the organization. And we saw an opportunity to not just do it, test it, and see what's the right way to optimize those programs. So we're testing the idea of dabble time, which companies like Google and 3M have popularized, and we're all sort of familiar with this idea of taking 20% of your time or a certain amount of your time is officially designated or sanctioned to work on innovative efforts beyond your day job. And it sounds good and it feels right, but it hasn't really been studied. It hasn't been measured, and we're not exactly sure whether and to what extent that official sanctioning of time actually affects performance, innovation, or even just that feel-good halo of just knowing that my employer offers that to me makes me feel like this is a good place to work. So this is a good place to test that. So we're doing a traditional experiment in the classic sense of the word, whereby half of the participants in these iLabs are specifically given 2 hours a week to work on their innovation efforts, and the other half aren't. And we're measuring a whole host of dependent variables that matter to the organization. So maybe this time next year we'll have some results to share with all of you.
Great. Now, Ash, I know your work is largely focused on sort of the value of time. Why is this interesting to you? Why do you care if the municipality of Durham gets innovative ideas and is the next Google?
Yeah, great. So all of my research focuses on time, money, and subjective well-being. Although employees and individuals, both at work and their home life, report wishing that they had more free time, feeling pressed for time. This is something I'm sure everyone in the room can relate to, feeling like they have too many things to do and not enough time to do it. There isn't a lot of great empirical research on strategies to reduce these feelings of time stress, both at home and in the workplace. And this is particularly important, as Charlotte already mentioned, with regard to innovation time. I already contribute so much back to the organization, and now you want me to innovate even above and beyond what I'm already doing. And this can cause, time is one of the major barriers to engagement with new practices, innovation, initiatives in the workplace. And this is where this really intersects with my research. Maybe we can give employees free time, give them the feeling of having more free time. So here in this experiment, not only are both groups doing an innovation lab, so both groups are taking time, but one group is being asked or being given time by their manager to say, hey, go work on this project. You can have 2 hours a week. We know that you're working hard on a lot of other things. And so just this feeling psychologically that I have time now carved out to work on something that I truly care about, that's something that's of great interest to me, because sometimes we feel pressed for time, in part because we don't feel like we have those allocated time blocks in our day to really accomplish what we want to accomplish. So that was really of interest to me. What can we do? Simple nudges. So this isn't 10 hours a week. This is just simple 2 hours a week that feels manageable and accomplishable. How can these small interventions in the workplace help employees feel less stress, take back their time, and ultimately give back more to their organization?
Our interest in this collaboration and this particular research project stemmed from the work that we've been doing creating an organizational culture of staff-driven innovation. And that journey began with a single question. In an organization of more than 2,000 staff spread out across many different work units, many different work locations, how do we create the conditions for innovation to emerge? We all understand why we need to innovate, why we need to continuously be innovating, but how do we create the right conditions in the organization? And these questions led to a vision of moving away from the silos that we all found ourselves working within, and that we know stifle creativity and innovation, and replace it with a culture of engagement and collaboration, where staff at all levels of the organization have permission, protection, and support to break through workplace silos, unlock their creative potential, and lead change and improvement, irrespective of what position they may hold in the organization. And we saw this partnership opportunity as a great way to gather scientific insights and evidence to help us understand the progress that we're making and to understand where we need to be looking.
We've noticed that too. I think there's something sort of ironic about the rise of applied behavioral science. This movement is coming through popular science, through just this sort of trend is growing around testing and applying behavioral insights and implementing those into programs and policies that change behavior at scale. That's what we mean by launching this movement of applied behavioral science. And many of the case studies that we use to sort of make the case for doing this approach do come from government entities, which is kind of ironic that the stereotype is that they're less innovative or bureaucratic, but this is, case in point, not the case.
Our vision was grounded in a set of beliefs. The belief that ideas for change and improvement are within each of us, irrespective of what position we might hold in the organization. A belief that each of us, from frontline to senior executive, brings a piece of a potential new solution, a particular unique skill set, a set of knowledge and experience, a particular perspective, and that we must put our pieces together for breakthrough ideas to emerge. A belief that innovation requires collaboration, and collaboration requires relationships and trust. A belief that staff, yes, must stay focused on today's priorities and deliverables, but also must have time to dabble in tomorrow's possibilities, in what could be. And as they set out to dabble, they must feel safe to try and sometimes fail if we expect innovation. And a belief that building a culture of innovation at an organizational level is the cumulative effect of unlocking creative potential within each and every staff member, and creating the conditions of safety, trust, collaboration, leadership without title, and in which every voice in the organization matters.
This is my personal favourite category. As I say every year, I think this is what this awards will evolve into, really celebrating those unsung heroes of our business that take a strategy you decide to roll out, to embody it, and make all the other employees and team members follow that way. So my favourite category, and I'm glad to say the nominees are Raymond Young of Cisco. And there's a round of applause for every single nominee here, actually. Felicia Elliott Nakula from Planet Hollywood. So he didn't know he'd been nominated. Darren Levine, who was on stage earlier, from Regional Municipality of Durham Social Services Department. Yes. Of Sealand. And Sanjay Acharya of Sanofi Pasteur. So, I think they're all heroes, all winners, but there has to be highly commended, and that is Darren Levine. Congratulations.